A famous coach said the only place that success comes before work is in the dictionary. Vince Lombardi preached that. Ray Triplett's life showed that. An award-winning athlete, an educator, a businessman, an elected official, a church leader. And in all of those, Ray Triplett was a leader and someone who coached in the game of life.
When you look at all the good things that Ray did over such a long period of time, that you would have to say that Ray Spencer Triplett was a legend.
He was very instrumental in lots of things in our community. He worked very hard in the church and worked very hard in our local government. He was a very neat dresser. He was a good teacher. He was a good coach.
He was spread out in so many ways, in so many good ways, and he made such an impact on so many lives as he came along. So respected and so loved by so many people.
From a character perspective, he was second to none, really, of anyone that I've ever met. If you go back and look at his Bible, he's underlined in black, underlined in blue again, highlighted in yellow certain passages of Scripture. And you could tell that he was very, very deep in the faith, and you could tell that had an impact in his Sunday school. And then, of course, his faith carried over into his relationships throughout the community as well. It should be a true testament to him and to others in Wilkes County as well.
As the head football coach at West Wilkes, he had some very good years, some winning years, conference championships, that kind of thing. He was the kind of guy that a generation looked up to. He was the kind of guy that people tried to be like. He taught us how to play the game. He taught us how to win the game. But he taught us how to live our lives. He talked about honesty and sportsmanship and going to church and family. He done a lot of things that goes beyond being just a regular football player.
When you look at all of the good things that Ray was involved in, and they weren't just like for 1 or 2 years or so on. I'm talking about things that Ray worked with for over a half century. He was spread out in so many good ways.
As county commissioner and everything that he did for the county, what he did from that perspective. It's really amazing how many people came up to me, some of whom I didn't even know, and just told me what kind of an impact that he was able to make on their lives and in the community of Wilkes County.
And again, I was extremely proud that I, as one, can say that I was a friend of Ray Triplett. He was a great friend and a great man, and I shall always cherish our friendship.
Triplett and his older brother Robert were early teammates, and family members say that their exploits were legendary. Triplett helped launch the football and baseball programs at the new West Wilkes High School. He spent 18 years playing the game of city politics. He was a Sunday school teacher for at least half a century. Truly a coach, and now a Hall of Famer. Please welcome Ray Spencer Triplett. Accepting on behalf of Ray Triplett, his son Tony Triplett, his daughters Lynn Deal and Beth Ebert.
Well, I'm a lawyer, so this may take more than 2 minutes. But I'll keep it as short as I can. It's just an unbelievable honor to be here tonight to celebrate the induction of our father into the Wilkes County Hall of Fame. And I want to thank everybody here. I want to thank the Board of Directors of the Wilkes County Hall of Fame. I want to thank all of those who supported my dad with the effort to be inducted. I want to thank our family, those in the video who helped. It's just a wonderful feeling, and I thank each and every one of you for being here tonight. I could talk about my father all night long. I won't do that, but I will mention a couple of things I think are worth keeping in mind. I want to do a shout out, if I can, with just a moment of privilege to say that I'm fortunate and privileged to know most of the folks who've been inducted tonight into the Hall of Fame. And this is one more outstanding class. And it's an honor to be included with this class tonight. My classmate Becky Mathis, many moons ago, Becky and I were at Wilkes Central High School together. Dr. Alexander Irwin taught me history and social studies at Wilkesboro Elementary School in the late 1960s. He's been a model and an inspiration for me ever since. And I feel like my dad was the same for many other people throughout my entire life. And I mean my entire life. I cannot tell you how many people have said to me, "Are you Ray Triplett's son?" And that's all they needed to know. That's been an inspiration for me my entire life, and I think for Lynn and Beth too. He has been known and loved by so many folks, and so many of his students, so many of his players at West Wilkes High School have clearly had him as their model and inspiration. Gerald Langford was one. So many others. I sat in my law office one day many years ago when one of his former players came to see me, and before we ever went back to my office, he began to talk about my dad. And now my dad was his football coach at West Wilkes High School. And now his own father had died before he got to high school. And now my dad became a second father for him. And as we sat there in the lobby of my law office, he began to sob. That's how much my father meant to him. And that's been, for me, I can't tell you what a blessing that's been for me my entire life, to know that my dad had that kind of impact on people. My dad was a very modest man. He had the drive and the strength and the willpower of a star athlete, but he had the humility and the quietness of a Christian gentleman. And what a wonderful combination that was. We've all known and loved him in my family and many others in the community. I want to thank my family for being here tonight. In addition to Lynn and Beth, my daughter Lori's here, my brother-in-law Randy Deal, my brother-in-law Holger Ebert, nephews Tyler Brooks and Ian and Kellen Ebert. Tyler was in the video talking about his grandfather, my father. It is truly an honor to be able to stand here and tell you how much he meant to me, how much he meant to our entire family, to our community, and to Wilkes County. And I am indebted to all of you for this honor. Thank you so much.